everybody, welcome to the Dungeoncast. I'm Brian.
I'm Will.
This is the podcast where we talk about everything Dungeons and Dragons, from watery wastes to wasted warlocks. And today, we are talking about Wizards, School of Graviturgy and Chronergy.
The Dungeoncast. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Will.
Do you ever think we don't talk about wizards or wizardry enough on our Dungeons and Dragons podcast?
Kind of. I mean, I'm getting a lot of wizards from our actual play podcast.
That's true. You play a wizard on our actual
wizard.
play podcast.
I do magics, and
do the
it just is the way it is for me.
You're pretty high level. You're level 13 now.
Yeah. So on this show, no. I think, what did we do last? Illusion magic?
Something
like that.
That was wizard specific.
Yeah, I know.
It was illusion and necromancy. Maybe. God, that was a long time ago.
It was a while back.
Well,
not super long, but long enough.
Well, today we are covering two very unique takes on the studied spellcaster, wielding the powers of time, space, and physics. It's the Chronomancer and Gravimancer. These subclasses are very much embedded into the lore of the hit podcast Critical Role, which got its own campaign-setting book titled Explorer's Guide to Wildmount. Now, this is not a crit roll podcast. Brian and I are not followers of the series or experts on its lore. What little I know...
I'm a spiritual follower of it. I know what goes on.
I support it. I think it's great for the game, and I'm glad people enjoy it.
Your special guest, Jake, is a fan of Critical Role.
And he was supposed to be on this show, but he bailed, so...
Oh, yeah, he did a lot.
Today, he ain't your special guest.
He did a lot. He's got his own special guest, and it's sickness.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jake.
Get better, Jake.
I was about to drag you, but now I just feel bad. Sorry. What little I do know of this lore is what I read for these subclasses. Now, I'm not the kind of DM that runs my games in established settings. I've probably said that on this show many times. It's a creativity thing for me. I want to run my own world with my own themes, stories, characters, etc. But what's great about D&D is that you should be able to work in whatever race, monster, class, etc. into your custom setting if you wish to, and these subclasses are no exception, so let us get into it.
Yeah, this is a high-level homebrew that went on that became established stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. So the first thing we're going to talk about is something called Dunamancy, which, again, I cannot express this enough. I don't know anything about crit roll, but this is a crit roll thing. So this is what the crit roll book says about Dunamancy. Dunamancy is the primal magical energy of potentiality and actuality, an anticipatory arcane force that helps shape the multiverse, and might very well be what holds its elements together like an infinite web of unseen tethers. Those who study to control and tap into this near invisible power can subtly bend the flow of time and space by controlling the forces of localized gravity, peering into possible timelines to shift fate into their favor, and scattering the potential energy of their enemies to rob them of their potency.
It's cool. You're sucking the momentum out of space-time.
Indeed. Understanding and mastering the forces that draw bodies of matter together or drive them apart, the students of Graviturgy, Arcane Tradition, learn to further bend and manipulate the violent energy of gravity to their benefit and the terrible detriment of their enemies. So yeah, we're covering Graviturgy first.
Cool.
Graviturgy magic. The first thing you get at level 2 when you take this, as with all wizards, you take your Arcane Tradition at level 2. You get to choose from an expanded list of spells. When you learn a wizard spell, the following spells are added to the wizard spell list for you. So, Sapping Sting, Magnify Gravity, Fortune's Favor, Immovable Object, Wrist Pocket, Pulse Wave, Gravity Sinkhole, Gravity Fissure, Tether Essence, Darkstar. I want to know more about that spell because it sounds fucking cool.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you want me to read some of these now or later?
Let's get into it. Did you add them to your character?
Yes.
Okay, then let's get into it when we get into your character.
Okay.
Ravenous Void at level 17. But the first feature you get is a feature called Adjust Density. Starting at second level, as an action, you can magically alter the weight of one object or creature you can see within 30 feet of you. The object or creature must be larger or smaller. The target's weight is halved or doubled for up to 1 minute or until your concentration ends, as if you were concentrating on a spell. While the weight of the creature is halved by this effect, the creature's speed increases by 10 feet. It can jump twice as far as normal, and it has disadvantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. The weight of a creature is doubled by this effect. The creature's speed is reduced by 10 feet, but it has advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. Upon reaching 10th level in this class, you can target an object or creature that is huge or smaller. Now, this is interesting. It's got pros and cons to doing either to anybody.
Right, it's very utilitarian. Like,
Yes.
you're gonna situationally kind of use. I like that you can do one or the other. They have like a opposing effect.
Yeah.
And there's like, okay, so Naruto is not a show about ninjas. It's a show about like wizards that do push-ups, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and can jump high.
Yeah.
You know, but they're doing magic. They're essentially
Absolutely,
just doing magic.
yes, they are doing magic.
And there's a character that's very powerful in the show that can do this ability.
Which character is that?
Onoki, the fence sitter, the Tsuchikage. He's like the leader of the Rock Nation or whatever.
I barely remember.
He's a little old man, and he can fly. He can like make himself so light that he flies.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And his ability is like, okay, I'm gonna get this big guy to throw a punch, and then make him super heavy while he's throwing the punch, and fuck you up.
Now the thing is, this gives advantage to strength checks and strength saving throws. It would kind of be cool if it gave a little damage booster or an attack bonus, because like I feel like that's what the idea of this increasing strength stuff does, but it doesn't actually. Strength checks don't happen very often. Strength saving throws almost never happen. But I guess this is an out of combat feature. So if someone's trying to break a door down, you can make them heavier. If someone is trying to climb real fucking good, oddly enough, making them heavier makes them better at climbing.
I think both would. Like, you can jump twice as far as normal. Like that sort of thing. That it just depends on what
how
kind
you
of flavor. How do you want to climb? And I kind of like the enlarge reduce spell like flavor, where if you enlarge something, it gains a D4 and that strength thing. It's like the missing piece of this.
Yes, I agree. There's a missing piece to this. I'm just trying to see. It doesn't. You could do this as many times as you want. It looks like, or you could do it as many times as you want. But obviously, you can only hold one concentration spell at a time.
Right.
But it doesn't appear to be a limit to how many times you could do this.
That's
so
pretty cool.
That is pretty fucking cool. All right, moving on. At level 6, you get an ability called Gravity Well. You learn how to manipulate gravity around a living being. Whenever you cast a spell on a creature, you can move the target 5 feet to an unoccupied space of your choice if the target is willing to move. The spell hits it with an attack, or it fails a saving throw against the spell. What? That didn't make sense to me. Let me reread that. You can move... You cast a spell on a creature. You can move the target 5 feet to an unoccupied space of your choice if the target is willing to move.
The spell hits it with an attack, or it fails the saving throw. So those are all the signifiers that let you move it.
Okay, I see. I understand. So either it's willing, or you have to hit it with an attack, or it fails the saving throw.
Right.
So yeah, that's 5 feet's not very far.
It's okay. Yeah. I mean, like, you can get somebody into or out of trouble. 5 feet could be the difference.
I think 10 feet would be.
That would be
fun
very
stuff.
Meaningful.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny how like that extra 5 feet is like a huge threshold.
Yeah.
Like, even with monsters, like we just covered Grells last week, right? And they have tentacle reach 10 feet, and that is just like so fucking meaningful because you are out of melee range when you're doing that.
Yeah, it's why polearm fighters are considered so potent, because of the things they can do while staying out of range.
Yeah, and like bugbears and stuff. I think your special guest Jake did in our Eldritch Knight episode. He took like the polearm kind of thing to.
Yeah, that's a very cheesy. It's pretty much the cheesiest build in the game is the polearm build.
When I built Quinoa, the seahorse riding Triton.
Yeah, I remember.
He did polearm stuff.
Yeah,
I never played Quinoa.
No, you never did. We don't get to play most of our characters on this show.
Nobody does, it seems.
So at level 10, you get a feature called Violent Attraction. When another creature that you can see within 60 feet of you hits with a weapon attack, you can use your reaction to increase the attack's velocity, causing the attack target to take an extra 1d10 of damage of the weapon's type. Alternatively, if a creature within 60 feet of you takes damage from a fall, you can use your reaction to increase the fall's damage by 2d10. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So what, like 3 to 4 times? You can add 1d10 damage to your buddy's weapon attacks, or if someone happens to fall, you can fuck them up.
I like the look of this, like gravity magic like surrounds the blade and shit, and like pulls it down to the fucking ground, like all crazy. That'd be wild.
That's super cool. Finally, at level 14, you get a feature called Event Horizon. You can magically emit a powerful field of gravitational energy that tugs at other creatures for up to 1 minute or until your concentration ends. For the duration, whenever a creature hostile to you starts its turn within 30 feet of you, it must make a strength saving throw against... See, there's where you make them light, because then now they have a disadvantage. against your spell save DC. On a failed save, it takes 2d10 force damage, and its speed is reduced to 0 until the start of its next turn. On a successful save, it takes half as much damage, and every foot it moves this turn costs 2 extra feet of movement.
That's cool. I like how the fail still like you're
Does
gonna
something.
get the effect. Yeah.
Once
I hate saves that are like on a pass, like you just fucking get out of the way or whatever.
It's rough.
Like,
It's rough.
I did a thing.
Yeah.
Things should be happening.
Yeah. Once you use this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest or until you expend a spell slot of 3rd level or higher to get it back.
Oh, that's cool. I like that option a lot.
Yeah.
And I like the option of like tying proficiency bonus to stuff, like helping you scale and get more powerful. That was like one of the things in here, right? Yeah. Wait, was it proficiency bonus for this violent attraction?
No, I don't think proficiency bonus came up.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's my bad.
No, it's all good.
One's intelligence modifier. That's what it was. Okay.
So, you built a character. You chose Graviturgy for your character.
Yes.
So tell me about your character, Brian.
I built a stout halfling named Pain.
Okay.
He will show you pain.
Okay, absolutely.
I want all my magic to kind of be based off of the magic of Pain in Naruto. He did like
which character's Pain? Oh, Pain.
Yeah, he was like the iconic bad guy. I feel like
for a while
the
there.
series really peaked right around there.
It did. That was peak Naruto.
And the look is cool. He's got like these fucking metal piercings like all over his face and shit. And he's like, spoilers for Naruto Shippuden,
the oldest show on the planet.
He's
at this point.
Pretty old. He's like actually undead, and like these rods that are in his body are like ways for the actual living person to like control through their energy or their magic or whatever.
Yeah.
So they were just manipulating this guy. So he's super tough. I just wanted to make somebody very small, like kind of be Pain. Like,
okay, sure.
It's kind of funny. Like, I will bring you down to my level,
right,
my height,
all the way down here.
I like the idea of like making people light and then like doing something fucking awesome. Like, can you imagine being high level and like Bigby's handing people that are all light and like swatting them away from the battlefield?
That would be pretty cool.
Fucking
I like that.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
He's not particularly strong. I ended up going. You get a boost to Dex here, so his AC is not too bad. He's probably gonna land like, I don't know, like without armor, he's rocking a 12, right? So if I put some armor on him, he can get up to like probably 15.
My guy has low AC as well.
It's wizard stuff, man. I'm level 8, and I have 50 HP. I kind of took some charisma. I took some things like let me find my like background. My background stuff. So when you're a halfling, you get lucky. So if I roll a 1 on an attack, ability check, or saving throw, I get to re-roll, use the new roll.
Oh, you took lucky as well?
Well, no, it's the racial trait for my guy.
Oh, okay. I took the lucky feat,
As a feat?
but I'll explain why, because I usually discourage that.
That's your rule. Like,
Yeah,
you have to really lean into it story-wise.
Yeah.
I'm brave, so I have advantage on saving throws against being frightened. I have nimbleness. I can move through space of any creature that's a size larger than me. And then I am resilient against poison. I have resistance against poison damage and saving throws. Advantage on saving throws against poison. I took the Inspiring Leader as a feat for my first ability score increase. You can spend 10 minutes inspiring your companions. Choose up to 6 allies, including yourself, that you can see or hear and can understand you within 30 feet. Each creature gains 9 temp HP once per short rest. So when I'm telling them to go, I'll probably sub out the tailed beast for like the rod of 7 parts that my organization is trying to collect to like bring down the government of the world.
It's just a straight lift. It's Pain.
And then I took except Pain but small.
Pain but small.
Pain but smaller. And then I took Warcaster, which is like a pretty cool staple thing. I'm gonna be in the shit.
So you built someone very damage oriented.
Yes. So in the show, Naruto Pain like can push and pull things and like manipulate their weight, and he can like I think it's Shinra Tensei. I forget what it's called, where they choose a location that is like the center of gravity, and like a bunch of rocks form like a little planet that's supposed to like encase them in that shit. It's like, oh, this is cool gravity shit that this guy does. It's gonna be cool for my guy. So every spell, like, I know I said I like assign those spells, but I was really just wanting to like, I definitely want all the spells that are available that are new to be on this guy.
Right.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? So I can read some of them. I think we should.
I really want to know
Darkstar.
Darkstar. That's the main one. I'm like, that sounds fucking wicked cool. Let's hear about it.
I have Explorer's Guide to Wildmount here. You see, if you're on YouTube, you can see. This is a very cool book. It's got a lot of cool stuff, very pretty art, and a cool map. So let me find my bookmark. Man.
You took all that time finding that bookmark and only to lose. Oh, there
it is.
You found it.
Sorry. I have these cool, I didn't know they were bookmarks. All right. I thought they were bookmarks. They're not. I don't know.
They're certainly not.
It's a long story.
Yeah, anyways.
Okay, you want to know Darkstar.
I do. Tell me about Darkstar, Brian.
I want to tell you about Darkstar, but I got to find it. Is it on this page? Wrist pocket. There's some cool stuff. Darkstar. Oh, it's the fucking first one. Okay, that's an 8th level spell, my guy. Evocation. It takes 1 action of casting time. Its range is 150 feet. VSM in terms of components. You need a shard of onyx and a drop of the caster's blood, both of which the spell consumes. Neat. Your fucking blood just vanishes into the ether. Concentration up to 1 minute. So this spell creates a sphere centered on a point you choose within range. The sphere can have a radius of up to 40 feet. The area within the sphere is filled with magical darkness and crushing gravitational force.
You create a black hole. You create a Darkstar.
Shinra Tensei. I think that's the name of it. For the duration, the spell's area is difficult terrain. A creature with dark vision can't see through the magical darkness. Fuck you, dark visioners. And non-magical light can't illuminate it. No sound can be created within or pass through the area. Any creature or object entirely inside the sphere is immune to thunder damage, and creatures are deafened while entirely inside it. Casting a spell that includes a verbal component is impossible there. Any creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there must make a Constitution saving throw. The creature takes 8d10 force damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. A creature reduced to 0 HP by this damage is disintegrated. A disintegrated creature and everything it is wearing and carrying, except magic items, are reduced to a pile of fine gray dust.
God damn. So you create a black hole. That's awesome.
Yeah, you create like a little mini fucking bad time.
You create a little singularity. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Let's see. We got like different ones. Do you want to hear about another one?
Yeah, sure.
How about like a lower level spell?
Sure.
Because that was way up there. So earlier, this one looks cool. Pulse Wave, 3rd level evocation. It's going to take 1 action of casting time. Range is self, 30-foot cone. Visual and somatic components. I'm sorry, that's verbal and somatic. Duration is instantaneous. You create intense pressure. Unleash it in a 30-foot cone and decide whether the pressure pulls or pushes creatures or objects. So cool. I built the best character. Each creature in that cone must make a Constitution saving throw. A creature takes 6d6 force damage on a failed save, or have as much damage. Oh, I think that's a typo. Or have instead of half. Or have as much damage on a successful one. And every creature that fails the save is either pulled 15 feet toward you or pushed 15 feet away from you, depending on the choice you made for this spell. In addition, unsecured objects that are completely within the cone are likewise pulled or pushed 15 feet. At higher levels, you do more of all that stuff.
I do like the tactical bit of pushing and pulling people around. It's one of my favorite things about the Wizard from 4th edition. Yeah,
this is very cool. This is going to be doing that kind of stuff. How about this level 1, Magnify Gravity, and then we'll move on?
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
The gravity in a tent. Oh, this is a casting time of 1 action, range of 60 feet. Verbal somatic with a duration of 1 round. The gravity in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on a point you can see within range increases for a moment. Each creature in the sphere on the turn when you cast the spell must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 2d8 force damage, and its speed is halved until the end of its next turn. That's fun. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and suffers no reduction to its speed. Until the start of your next turn, any object that isn't being worn or carried in the sphere requires a successful strength check against your spell save DC to pick up or move. At higher levels, it does more of that stuff. That's the basic stuff. That's what you're going to get up front. Immovable object, gravity fissure, gift of alacrity, which I think we're going to detail with your character, right?
Yes.
So we'll get into a little bit more of the Dunamancy spells when we do Will's character, but I think for now, let's take a short rest.
Indeed. All right, Brian, it's time to talk about Chronergy, which, just as a side, I feel like it should be called Chronomancy because that sounds cooler, but whatever.
I want it to be Chronergy.
Or Chronergy.
Like thaumaturgy.
I kind of like that too, but either way, it's Chronergy. Chronergy. Whatever.
Hard G.
Tomato.
Chroner guy.
Focusing on the manipulation of time. Those who follow Chronergy or Chronergy tradition learn to alter the pace of reality to their liking, using the ramping of anticipatory dunamis energy. These mages can bend the flow of time as adroitly as a skilled musician plays an instrument, lending themselves and their allies an advantage in the blink of an eye.
Cool. You don't think it's Dunamis, do you? That'd be cool.
Dunamis?
Instead of Dunamis?
I mean, maybe.
Dunamis?
I mean, I'm not a crit roll guy. I'm sure we're going to hear all about it. So let us know in the comments. How do you pronounce these things that we're bad at?
I'll call Jake towards the end of the episode and see what he says.
Okay, for
we'll
sure.
Get some pronunciation.
So the first
like
Dunamancy or Dunamancy spells that you get as a Chronergy wizard, you get Sapping Sting, Gift of Alacrity, Fortune's Favor, Wrist Pocket, Pulse Wave, Temporal Shunt, Tether Essence, Reality Break, and Time Ravage.
We're definitely going to read like Time Ravage or Reality Break.
Yeah, one of those. Especially because obviously this is a level 8 character. I don't have those.
I think the Reality Break spell is the one that is like a, is that the one that's like counter spell almost?
I don't know.
We'll check it out.
So at level 2, you get a feature called Chronal Shift. Starting at 2nd level, you can magically exert limited control over the flow of time around a creature. As a reaction, after you or a creature you can see within 30 feet of you makes an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw, you can force the creature to re-roll. You make this decision after you see what the rolls, whether the roll succeeds or fails. The target must use the result of the second roll. You can use this ability twice, and you regain any expended uses when you finish a long rest. So, free re-rolls. Guess why I picked a feature lucky? Because we're leaning into the re-rolls.
Re-roll my re-rolls.
Indeed.
Well, aren't there ones that say like you have to use the new roll, so like re-rolling it again may not be an option?
Yeah, but the lucky kind of like extends only 2 to basically 5, but we'll get into that.
Some wording issues with D&D.
Right.
It's
just
like
use your best judgment.
Like most games, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. You also get another feature at 2nd level called Temporal Awareness. You can add your intelligence modifier to your initiative roll. Now that's fucking cool.
That is cool. Is that in lieu of your dexterity, like in regular initiative?
No, it says you can add.
So if you've got +2 initiative, then it becomes like a +4 if you have a +2 intelligence.
Exactly,
That's
or a +6
really
if you got a +4. Yeah, it is really good. Also reminds me very much of 4th edition, where in 4E, any character could use either dex or intelligence for their initiative, just depending on what you wanted.
It's like a Jimmy Neutron Brain Blast ability.
Right.
Like, he's reaching for his sword. Brain Blast. Better get the jump on this.
At level 6, you get a feature called Momentary Stasis. You can magically force a large or smaller creature you can see within 60 feet of you make a Constitution saving throw against your spell save DC. Unless the saving throw is a success, the creature is encased in a field of magical energy until the end of your next turn, or until the creature takes any damage. While encased in this way, creature is incapacitated, has a speed of 0. Now this is awesome because, again, incapacitated creature is helpless, thus you're getting auto crits. Like, this is your fighter's best friend.
This is hilarious. Matt Mercer voices the English bad guy in Dragon Ball Super, Hit. And Hit is an assassin fighter that uses like time manipulation powers, and it literally like does this in the show.
I wonder if that's where he got it from.
Maybe he has to read all the stuff that's happening on the page. He's like, my guy's doing what? He put him in a time prison with his fist.
Takes notes.
Yeah, like definitely adding that to campaign.
Maybe that's an awesome connection there. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum 1. So again, you could do this. This is 4 times of putting someone in stasis and your fucking barb and fighter just going at them.
Yeah, man.
It's amazing. I love it.
This is awesome.
Which, that's when it comes to my character, you're going to see I really leaned into the utility, because these features are very utility.
Yeah.
But they're so helpful that it's like you don't need to do damage because you're making your party so good.
For sure. Like, I like how when we get a setting like Eberron in this setting, the spellcasting aspects are the most like interesting and unique.
Right, because
I'm sure there are lots of other cool
out
things.
To more like
obviously Eberron's got all kinds of cool stuff,
Yeah.
but like for mechanical game stuff, for character play, it's like wizard stuff.
I love D&D. I love D&D magic, but there is this bit of like, I feel like D&D magic is really drawn into this box.
Sure.
Like, this is a spell, this is what it does.
You're right, until you get to illusion magic, and then it's like, here's a spell, I don't fucking know.
Make it up. Yeah, that's true, but like, I do feel like a box is a little restraining, and maybe it's just because I'm so used to like, obviously various novels and animes and stuff where like magic is a little more fluid and free. I understand why D&D magic is the way it is, and I still love it, but you're right, with a lot of these more not homebrew settings, but with these other settings, it does get a little bit more free flow.
It is like a thing that is established in a lot of the lore, especially with monsters. Like we already talked about the hag. Was that last episode we talked about the hag?
Yeah, the weird magic.
Hag magic, Grell magic. Like there are other kinds of magic. You can make up what you want them to do. Like if you want to unbox it a little bit, you can. If you want to have an NPC roll up and like start showing people weird shit, you can. Like I mean, you really got to nail it down though. I think like because that mechanic does help. Like with like Fireball has to do what Fireball do.
Yeah, because we need things to find because we are playing a game that has mechanics and rules.
Yeah, we're on a board.
So, so at level 10, you get a feature called Arcane Abandons. When you cast a spell using a spell slot of 4th level or lower, you can condense the spell's magic into a mote. The spell is frozen in time at the moment of casting and is held within a gray bead for 1 hour. This bead is a tiny object with AC 15 and a hit point of 1 and is immune to poison and psychic damage. When the duration ends, or if the bead is destroyed, it vanishes in a flash of a light and the spell is lost. Excuse me. A creature holding the bead can use its action to release the spell within, whereupon the bead disappears. The spell uses your spell attack bonus and save DC. The spell treats the creature who released it as a caster for all other purposes. Once you create a bead with this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a short or long rest. I love this feature. It's really fucking cool. It's like, hold on, fighter, let me give you, I don't know, Fireball or some other crazy wizard-only spell that they'll never see coming from the dude with the sword. Like, that's fucking awesome.
Here's a fucking grenade, a magic grenade. Throw this at your leisure.
It's like, I would love to get closer to this fight, but I wear cloth, so here's this bead. Go do it for me. Yeah.
Neat.
At level 14, you get a feature called Convergent Future. You can peer through possible futures and magically pull one of them into events around you, ensuring a particular outcome. This is the Doctor Strange, if you will.
Okay.
When you or a creature you can see within 60 feet of you makes an attack roll, an ability check, or saving throw, you can use your reaction to ignore the die roll and decide whether the number rolled is the minimum needed to succeed or one less than that number.
Okay.
When you use this feature, you gain 1 level of exhaustion. Only by finishing long rest can you remove a level of exhaustion gained in this way. That's a big price to pay, but it is nice to be able to particularly decide exactly how something happens.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Also, like, exhaustion is a big price to pay. People really complain about the exhaustion mechanics in this game.
Yeah, I mean, they're supposed to be bad.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I love them. Like, when you are... when you're rolling disadvantage after that like first day of no sleep, it makes total sense. Like you're bombing all your perception rolls and stuff. Like things aren't making sense.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're tired as fuck.
Yeah, you're very tired. I'm curious to see what the major complaints are. Like maybe I've never really looked into exhaustion or dealt with it too thoroughly to have much of an opinion on it.
I think it works well. I think it just is grueling to have disadvantage on every ability check.
Yeah, well, you know what? Fucking players are overpowered. And sometimes you need to hit them with some exhaustion.
If you have really strong players that do really crazy stuff all the time,
don't give me ideas.
Then exhaustion is a great way to mitigate their power. Like if you want to kind of send them through hell a little bit, make them tired as fuck. They're going to be trying to sleep, and when they can't, it's going to be frustrating. They're going to keep setting up camp, having to move. Like that's a real thing.
Yeah.
And I impose that on some Underdark play for sure.
Fuck yeah.
They come out of the Underdark exhausted with some Stone Giant help or whatever.
There we go. I like it.
Stone Giants they're like, we need rest. Stone Giants are like, you can't stay here. We'll walk you through. It's another fucking 6 hours of walking. Like, oh shit, second level of exhaustion's about to kick in. We need to find camp. Like, you don't know where you're gonna get dumped out.
It adds urgency for sure.
Yes, and you suck. So
and
like
you suck.
You're urgently
so you're
sucking.
Real goddamn urgent.
Yeah. Exhaustion's cool. This is a nice I like that there's a mechanic that makes you pay in this way.
Right. Because you don't see it enough. So before we get into my character, do you have any other comments or concerns or questions about the Chronergy?
No, just let me know when you want me to read spells off. You know,
will do. That'll be at the end of this. So I created a wizard, a high elf Chronergy wizard.
I'd be upset if you didn't create that.
That would be really weird if I created a pyromancer. Delorean Wells is his name, not a very elven name, but I like the name, so we're sticking with it. And his deal is that he is dissatisfied with the limited lifespan of elves. They live a very long time, but guess what? They don't live forever. So he decided to try and crack that code without turning to, you know, the drawbacks of necromancy or lichdom or any of that garbage.
Yeah.
Want to do it under his own power and in his own way, so he turned to the forbidden arts of tapping into the laws of reality.
Oh, he didn't like hit up some terrorists to like get a nuclear reactor?
No, totally did not do that. Nope. he ended up cracking into some forbidden lore, and he actually was expelled from his elven society for it.
Oh shit!
So
they were like, "You can't have that many gigawatts," and he's like, "But this is the amount I need."
Exactly, that's exactly right. So he changed his name to a non-elven name. That's why we got Delorean Wells, and not for other reasons. And he's pretty well built. So we're gonna go over it. He's got a 16 dex and a 17 intelligence, making that sweet initiative +6. I love
really
that feature.
good.
Yeah, he's squishy. Only 13 AC. I trained him in Arcana, History, Medicine, Perception, and Religion. Basically, like he has
like the same exact shit on mine.
Studied intensely into time, periods of time. He has seen the far past and the distant future. He knows things that maybe he shouldn't know or that no one else could know, and this is why he's so trained in history and medicine in ways that maybe doctors aren't. And you know, he knows of the great religions of the past. Like, that's my excuse here. He's looking at other time periods.
Okay.
Let me see here. So, you know, we talked about the features like chronal shift and momentary stasis and arcane abandons and all that other stuff. I want to go over some of his feats because I wanted to lean a little bit into the time stuff. So the first feat I picked was Keen Mind. It increases intelligence score, which is great for a wizard.
I almost picked that.
You also always know which way is north and the number of hours left before the next sunrise and sunset. And you can accurately recall anything you've seen, heard within the past month. And so I want to tie that into the time thing. Is just he always knows exactly what time it is at all times. And like anything that he has witnessed, he remembers because he's just got that crazy time memory.
He's got like a bunch of fucking clocks on him. Like he's got like a pocket watch and like a fucking little tiny like grandfather. What is it called? Like a Cogsworth size clock?
Yeah, yeah.
Like a table clock. I don't know.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
He's pulling shit out of his bag.
I didn't really put any thoughts on how he looks, but yeah, you could totally go with a time theme. But the other feat I took was Lucky, and that's for obvious points. Lucky operates very much like what was the feature? Chronal Shift. Was that it? Yeah, where you can do a reroll.
Right.
Lucky is just the same thing. It's like any roll that happens, an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. This is specific to himself though, so it's not others like the other one.
Sure.
But he can re-roll it. Basically, something can happen, and he basically what he does, flavor-wise, is he rewinds time and tries it a little bit differently.
Yeah, that's cool.
And tries to pull it off. For languages, I try to give him stuff that like ancient languages. So I chose Deep Speech and Draconic, like some of the oldest languages out there.
Nice.
That he has access to. And then what I did with spells, I did choose new spells. Like Gift of Alacrity is great. You touch a willing creature, and for the duration, you can add 1d8 to their initiative rolls. That's awesome. Make people faster. Temporal Shunt I chose. You target the triggering creature, which must succeed a wisdom saving throw or vanish, being thrown into another point of time and causing the attack to miss or the spell to be wasted. Again, love the time travel.
It's excellent.
But another thing I did was I went and looked at just classic D&D spells, and I tried to reflavor them into something time oriented.
Yes.
Or I also just took like haste and slow, obvious, right?
Sure.
Time oriented.
Yeah,
bam,
definitely.
got those. Hold monster, hold person, freeze time on them.
That would work for mine too.
Yeah. Sleep, you fast forward the time so far into their future where they get tired. You know what I mean? You fast forward it to their bedtime. Mirror image.
I only feel like this at 8 p.m. What's happening?
Yeah, exactly.
Where's my milk?
Mirror image, like, there are constant decisions we can make in this life, right? So your mirror images are just alternate time versions of yourself. Cool. You know what I mean? Like that enemies abound is kind of a similar thing where it's like you are fucking with decision making, and suddenly these people are seeing other realities where like people that weren't enemies or aren't even here are suddenly here and attacking them.
Totally. This is good.
Yeah, legend lore. Like, I think where you can like recall lost, forgotten shit that no one remembers anymore.
Open a window in the time stream.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Cool.
So I'm trying to think if there's blur's obvious.
It's a lot of good crossover here. I'm definitely picking up on this for my dude too.
Even mending's obvious. It's not that you're fixing it; it's that you're rewinding the time on it and putting it back to when before it was broken.
That's tricky.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what I got for him. We can go over some of the higher level spells, but like this guy was a little bit more of a
college
mechanical
dropout.
A mechanical experiment. I didn't go so far into the lore.
Yeah.
But it's just like, how do I make a true time wizard? And I think I did it. So here's your time wizard.
Hey, welcome to the show, Time Wizard.
So let's look up, what was that spell called? The really big one, Time Ravage.
Yeah.
Tell me about Time Ravage.
Let me find Time Ravage in this book. Here's Tether Essence. That'll be the next page then. Right? Why is this book hard for me to read?
I don't know, man. Should be in alphabetical order, no?
Yeah. Oh, there it is. It's split between 2 pages.
Oh,
this is 9th level Necromancy.
Goddamn. Okay, not what I expected.
1 action casting time with a range of 90 feet. VSM, you need an hourglass filled with diamond dust worth at least 5,000 GP, which the spell consumes. It's
Indeed.
Instantaneous. Big magic. You target a creature you can see within range, putting its physical form through the devastation of rapid aging. The target must make a Constitution saving throw, taking 10 D12 necrotic damage on a failed save or half as much on a success. If the save fails, the target also ages to the point where it has only 30 days left before it dies of old age.
God damn.
In this age state, the target has disadvantage on
got
its...
30 days left.
I don't know how I know, but I do. Wisdom of age. In this age state, the target has disadvantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws, and its walking speed is halved. It's like the ultimate exhaustion. Mm-hmm. Only the Wish spell or the Greater Restoration cast with a 9th level spell slot can end these effects and restore the target to its previous age. That's fucked up.
Yeah, I love it.
I would love to age a troll to see what that would look like because they regen.
Oh, yeah, huh?
And to make
That's
it like
interesting.
Fucking fear its demise.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you know who that's the most devastating on is like anybody of the longer lived races.
Yeah,
because
the
it's
worst
like,
fear.
yeah, it's not being fast forwarded 20 or 30 years. It's being fast forwarded like 900
years. Yeah.
Like there goes your millennium.
Let's read Reality Break.
Sure.
That's an 8th level conjuration. One action for casting time, 60 feet of range. VSM, you need a crystal prism. The duration is concentration up to 1 minute. You shatter the barriers between realities and timelines, thrusting a creature into turmoil and madness. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, or it can't take reactions until the spell ends. The affected target also must roll a d10 on the start of each of its turns. The number rolled determines what happens to the target as shown on the Reality Break effects table.
Oh, shit.
At the end of its turns, the affected target can repeat the wisdom saving throw, ending the spell on itself on a success. So 1 and 2, you're going to get a vision of the far realm. The target takes 6d12 psychic damage and is stunned until the end of the turn. Wow, big time. 3 to 5, you're going to get Rending Rift. The target must make a dexterity saving throw, taking 8d12 force damage on a failed save.
Okay, so this is it's a big damage whammy. That's what it is.
6 to 8 is Wormhole.
With excellent flavor.
The target is teleported along with everything it is wearing and carrying up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see. The target also takes 10d12 force damage and is knocked prone. And 9 to 10 is Chill of the Dark Void. Doesn't sound that chill. The target takes 10d12 cold damage and is blinded until the end of the turn.
I gotta say, these spells are very fitting for Super Quest Saga.
Potent, yeah.
Very Super Quest Saga-y feeling spells.
Super Quest Saga. When you let your Super Quest Saga sit in the queue for too long, watch it right away. Here's Fortune's Favor. That might be a cool one to read. This is
Okay.
2nd level.
All right.
It's got a casting time of 1 minute, 60 feet, VSM. You need a white pearl worth at least 100 GP, which is going to be consumed. It's going to last for 1 hour. You impart latent luck on to yourself or one willing creature. This is cool that like luck is a big part of this stuff. One willing creature you can see within range. When the chosen creature makes an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw before the spell ends, it can dismiss the spell on itself to roll an additional d20 and choose which of the d20s to use. Alternatively, when an attack roll is made against the chosen creature, it can dismiss the spell on itself to roll a d20 and choose which one of those d20s, the one if it rolled or the one the attacker rolled.
Interesting.
If the original d20 roll has advantage or disadvantage, the creature rolls the additional d20 after advantage or disadvantage has been applied to the original roll. That's cool.
Okay.
Usually you can't do that type of shit.
Nope.
At higher levels, when you cast a spell using a spell slot of 3rd level or higher, you can target one additional creature for each slot above 2nd. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it. It's more of the reroll stuff, basically, but in a different style.
Manipulating the time stream.
Indeed.
Do we want to read this Dunamancy for non-Dunamancers? There's like a little section here that's like probably worth reading.
Go right ahead.
So if you want to do Dunamancy and you're not one of these classes, I think this is like a little how-to or something like that. The esoteric powers developed and harnessed through the use of Dunamis are still very much rare and carefully guarded feature of the Kryn dynasty in Wildmount. However, such arcana is hard to keep hidden, especially in times of war. Spies and defectors have long smuggled out the secrets of this obscure magical practice, and even now it slowly disseminates beyond Xhorhas. So I don't know too much about Wildmount, like we said.
Yeah, you said a lot of things there.
Yeah, we did say a lot of things. I'm sure people are triggered by the way I said them.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said Xhorhas right at all.
Right.
I mean, how else am I supposed to say that? I guess I'll find out. Dunamancy spells are readily... so this is like very setting specific.
It sounds like it.
Dunamancy spells are readily available to the wizard subclasses in this chapter and should not be simply added to the full spell lists of other spellcasting classes. However, the Dungeon Master can consider allowing other spellcasting classes opportunities throughout the campaign to learn a handful of Dunamancy-themed spells as rewards. Perhaps the characters uncover a cache of magical contraband among which... So basically, I'm not gonna bother reading the rest of this. Figure it out. Don't give these out willy-nilly. They're very strong and like outside of the setting though. I mean, it's really up to you. You can kind of just do you want to include these or not? Do you have the source book to like get them from? The internet exists. Like, you know.
Yeah.
But it's basically saying like, hey, talk these out. They have like story implications that this type of magic exists, I guess. Or they could or couldn't.
Yeah, and I guess that's how some people look at it. Like for me, like a spell, like anything else in this game, it's just a stat block. I can just say yes or no.
Exactly.
And, like any type of lore or flavor attached to it is at my whim. Like,
right.
So like for me, there is no complications of adding Dunamancy spells. They just either do or don't exist. And if they do, then it's just cool extra stuff wizards can do.
Yeah, for me, it's like if a player's like, I want to do Dunamancy, I say, okay.
Yeah.
It's probably fine.
Yep.
You know, don't do it wrong.
Alrighty, I think it's time that we took a long rest.
Let's get along with it. Hey everybody, welcome to the long rest part of the episode where we get ready for bedtime. Like, if I stop doing the Slippies thing, people get mad. And once I start doing the Slippies thing, people get mad.
It's true, you can't win.
They're both like both parties are outspoken about it.
Our audience is divided.
I don't know what you want from me.
The Slippies and the non-Slippies.
So I got you this embroidered blanket.
Thank you.
That has all the beholders.
I'll be honest, I do have enough Slippies at this point.
It's a Cruel Eyes blanket. It's got Cruel Eyes on it.
I hate this. I'll give it to my child.
Yeah, wrap your child up in this horrible amalgamation of our bad brain stuff.
Indeed. So we're building a beholder, Brian.
We are.
What are we starting with? The feature or the beam? The ray?
Clock chain? What was that?
No. It wasn't the clock chain. No. What did we? You said the pain.
Flavor Flav's big clock chain.
No. You mentioned the pain piercings.
Yeah. How's this gonna work?
I don't know. I mean, you can have pain piercings all over his tentacles.
He needs pain piercings, Hobbleman. The Hobbleman. Hobbleman changed his name to the Hobbleman.
Oh, he is the Hobbleman.
He is the Hobbleman. Thank you, the Hobbleman. Yeah, I need. That's it, huh? I don't need to know. Hobbleman needs to know. Hobbleman, I want pain piercings all over this thing. It's got pain piercings on it. Once I see it drawn, I'll be able to describe it to the audience. But they're black bars that go into the skin.
Yeah.
Hence the name the name piercing. Anyway. I don't know what that looks like yet, but let's do the beam.
The beam's going to be the reality break beam.
Yeah.
Where essentially it's a beam that will randomly replace its target into different planes of existence and time periods temporarily.
The eye at the end of the tentacle needs to be a crystal prism, because that's the spell component.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I like that. That's awesome.
You can have an eye in it still.
The thing is, though, reality break does way too much damage for a beholder, so we're going to cut the damage in half.
Yeah.
It'll still be devastating.
Yeah, if you're going to do 6d12, you do 3d12.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I think that's more fair.
More fair, because you're going to get blinded and stunned and stuff, or maybe even like 4d12 might even be a little more accurate for a amount of beholder damage.
Righto.
6d12 might actually be okay. I don't know. It does seem like a lot. 8d12 is kind of a lot.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, with all these other effects.
Because a beholder does 3 beams at once.
So we have a randomizer within a randomizer.
Indeed.
You randomly roll this beam, and then you have to randomly roll for its effect.
It's true.
That's fun.
It's random all the way down.
Everybody loves that.
All right, so that's our feature and our array. What else we got to talk about today, Brian? I think we have 2 new shows we should probably talk about, huh?
Yeah, Everything You Need to Know, which is like the 10 to 15 minute sort of like
lore dump breakdown of one particular subject. We've been doing really powerful entities, so we got everything you need to know about Demogorgon was episode 1.
Shout out to Demogorgon.
Everything you need to know about Asmodeus was number 2. And everything you need to know about Tiamat is on the way, should be here soon. And I don't even know where it's going after that. But basically, a lot of people have called for more visual, like video content with just a straight lore without banter. So that's what we're giving you. Everything you need to know and none of the extra stuff.
Yeah.
And DD5 has relaunched. We're getting one of those out a month. I think we did multi-classing in the planes. And then we have sidekicks and hirelings
right now. Yeah.
So if you guys want some short informational videos on D&D, the Dungeoncast is the place to find it. So check out our YouTube channel, and we'll put the playlist playlist links in the description. And yeah,
if you have like new players that you don't like, you're having trouble explaining like the basic concepts of some of the major D&D points too, like you're kind of reading the book, I don't know, like we compiled that information. Like you can explain the planes to somebody like in roughly 5 minutes or so. Sidekick is going to be a really good one. When we have like basic, like how combat works, that can be kind of overwhelming for somebody that's not used to playing these types of games.
Or spellcasting. Yeah,
so we want to like help make this game accessible to others. Some people don't do well with like reading a book. That's just the thing. Like, some people have a hard time concentrating on books. This video is going to help you out. It's going to give you the basic knowledge that you need to get you forward. Same thing if you're like if you want to run Asmodeus tonight at your table and you need like a refresher or like some data, you'll pick up some extra data, help you get in character. That's a great place to go. It's got a lot of the visuals you need and all the data you crave.
Indeed.
Get crunchy. I don't know what else is there. I mean, those are our YouTube projects.
We got a new background. Yeah,
we did. If you're on YouTube and I don't know, I definitely was having a lot of trouble with like transitioning over to a new video software. Like the way the green screen works, it's like totally different. So it's time just to get away from that altogether. So we have a hard set background now. It's just very cool. I'm very proud of it.
Mm-hmm. Looks great.
Yeah. So if you guys want to check us out on YouTube, share our shows there. That really helps. I want you to go to Patreon and give us money. If you could, that'd be great. There's lots of cool bonus content there. So if you like the show and you want more content like the show, go check that out. We'd really appreciate it. As well as iTunes reviews, which are extremely helpful, or reviews of any kind, and spreading the word. Be on the lookout in the next few weeks for Contest-y talk. It's been a little while. It's going to be a little while longer.
But then there's probably going to be a lot.
There's the new Feywild book, Strixhaven, and then they announced also the
Fizban Book of Dragons.
Book of Dragons.
It's gonna be fucking awesome.
Gem Dragons. Everybody's been clamoring about that to us.
Well, you want to get them
for a while. So those episodes on that stuff are going to come out. We're going to try and get into these books to get the stuff out of them that you crave and that I crave. Yeah. That's all I got. I'm ready to call it a game.
Let's call it a game.
Goodbye.
Talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.
The Dungeoncast.